Tournaments this weekend consist of the 1v1 format. It is an individual event, open bracket. Everybody could enter. They registered, and now they're going to fight it out against each other, mano a mano, 8 minutes on the clock. 3 stocks, no gadgets. It is double elimination, which means you need to lose 2 sets to get knocked out. Right now, we are in all best of 5 territory, so you've got to win 3 out of 5 matches to proceed.
Yes, and like you said, you got to lose 2, so when we get to that grand finals, someone will have that winner's bracket advantage. But for now, we're in the losers semifinal with Doggo versus Powar. Doggo locked in with the Garnet, of course, that Petra crossover, and on the other side, Rayman from the Rayman universe. No, yeah. Thank you.
I mean, listen, everybody, they spam the Rayman pick on the legend screen.
Yeah.
Just that way they go, yeah, yeah, and you hear the little helicopter hair. That's the crazy thing about this character. Rayman, if you haven't played any of his games, he can actually spin that hair up top, those luscious locks. And that actually gives him a little bit of lift. So he gets to hover around like a helicopter, and that continues into a number of his signatures. So you gotta watch out.
Yeah, Doggo's the one giving him a little bit of a lift right now, knocking Powar around, doing some really good stuff with the orb, but Powar getting the better of the damage trades. That axe will do a little bit more damage. You see that down sig come out. That is one of the big threats of the Rayman, is that ability to throw out that down sig off stage.
I also really appreciate the fact that Rayman was holding an axe made of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Got to give some love to the other crossovers in the Brawlhalla universe. No knockouts just yet. You do see Powar getting sent off by that neutral air, and Doggo trying to get some damage built up with the weapon toss, trying to keep the pressure going. Side stick thrown out. Powar avoids it.
Big uppercut to seal the deal. Those gauntlets, they're mostly going to be looking for, you know, any kind of downward sending attack off the stage or that uppercut, main knockout threat.
Yeah, but now that Doggo's over to the orb, likely will be looking for a side air to finish this one off. Not able to find the side air connection though, and Powar able to get back up onto the stage. Going to be able to add a little bit more damage, that extra credit when you get that stock advantage.
Yeah, so Doggo is really just hunting, looking for some solid attack, and there it is! Swapping immediately over to the gauntlets and the uppercut.
Then you see Doggo going as high as possible before throwing the weapon away. Wants to try to keep that weapon active as long as possible to delay the weapon spawn. Unfortunately, went off stage, so it's not going to land down on the stage and keep it active. And that means Powar able to pick up some gauntlets.
Ooh. Yeah, so both of these players, they're playing pretty heavy string weapons. Oh, big dunk with that chargeable blast. So they're playing pretty heavy string weapons, so I'm always curious to see, all right, where is the dodge break point, and which way do you favor to go after getting hit by some of those string openers? Because adjusting to that is going to be where you'll see all the big damage build.
Yeah, the classic with gauntlet. Oh, wow! What an option. Going for the neutral signature to get up over the corner, and it just chased down Doggo. The heat-seeking lums coming out from Powar, and that's going to be the stock advantage opportunity again to extend onto Doggo. Does he have the reads like you were talking about off these sidelights?
Yeah, you see it. You always go for that side light. Every gauntlet player loves to do it. Side light into which way are you going to dodge? Because that's where they get to cash out for huge damage with lengthy strings. Right now, it hasn't really seemed any particular way that either player has been favoring, so they haven't really gone. Oh my gosh! No! Just fell sliding down right next to the wall, but couldn't reach it in time to touch it.
His elbows don't exist. He can't touch the wall with them.
Oh my gosh, not like this.
The Rayman life is so hard. Powar gonna fall in game number 1, but fortunately, like you said a little while ago, best of 5. So still 2 more opportunities for Powar to come back into this and earn their spot in the losers final, guaranteeing that top 3 finish.
Yeah, so now the map bans are bringing us to the next game. Game number 2, Legends Unchanged. However, the battleground will look a little bit different. We're going to Small Great Hall. It's got tri-platforms, those 3 soft platforms in a triangle formation.
We'll see how those soft platforms come into play. No fancy ledge cancel shenanigans, or at least not too much. Might be able to do like a downlight with the axe if Powar opts to go for that. But for now, just going to be going in with some standard gauntlet plays. Good avoidance of that recovery and a solid punish coming out from Powar.
Oh, catches the potentially high recovery, trying to land on that soft platform. And Powar just able to jump right up there, snipe with the axe side.
I think that Neutralite was the first damage Doggo has done to Powar. Holy cow, what a good start for Powar. Already a full stock up onto Doggo. But Doggo back to the orb. Great chase up. You saw him chase, dodge up alongside Powar to get that follow-up side air.
Yeah, so here's the thing. With as good of a start as Powar has had here, you wouldn't know that the last game ended as catastrophically as it did. Especially since now Powar working on a 3-stock. This is monumental.
Or, in some degrees, this might be catastrophic if you're a Doggo fan. But Doggo does find the down light. Gravity cancel neutral heavy.
Why does Sparky hang out with you? I don't understand. When you make jokes like this at a time like this, how could you?
No, there's no such thing as a bad time for a good joke. But Doggo off stage against Powar. Nice little neutral air, not able to find those follow-ups. Like you were saying, need to find those extensions, those reads off of those setup tools.
Because right now, Doggo just managing to keep Powar off stage. Side light into side air, again ensuring the corner guard. Oh, caught in the rapid fire blasts. Not yet enough to knock him out, though. Powar maintains the stock advantage.
I love that it's the battle of the flying fists. Powar with the gravity cancel down, or the down signature. Doggo with the neutral.
You're just like, there's disembodied hands just flying all over the place, looking to smack people.
Some good theming on that one. Side light, side air from Doggo. Able to take this down to final stocks. There is that 5% chance, right? Doggo still has some health to work with, and Powar did throw a stock in the end of game number 1.
5%? You're really bringing out the D&D numbers here? You're just like, you could roll a 1 right now. The critical failure.
No, it happens. There's always that chance. Looking like at least a 2 or a 3 on the roll so far. Oh no.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh. Powar, I can't believe, started off working on a 3-stock here, and Doggo just really bringing this one back. Oh, but Powar, yes, clutches it out. That ground pound could not have come soon enough.
That was the second stock in game number 2 that was taken by a fairly standard ground pound, gauntlet ground pound coming out from Powar. I'm surprised Doggo's not reacting a little bit more in time against that ground pound. Maybe just a little bit deer in the headlights against that, but we'll see if Doggo can change up that timing as we get right on into game number 3. Currently tied 1 apiece between Doggo and Powar.
Yeah, so it's worth mentioning, you talked about that Gauntlet's ground pound, and since they are both using gauntlets, you'd assume that they are very adept. They've got a lot of knowledge around it, but it is one of the slower ground pounds as far as falling speed. So you can actually, fast fall to stay underneath it and kind of race them to the bottom a little bit, but that Gauntlet's ground pound, you can steer it forward and back a little bit. Backwards, not so much, but forwards, very deadly.
Yeah, so generally speaking, the idea is that you kind of pull them down and away from the stage, and then immediately when they get close enough, dodge underneath it because they don't have the time to react, and they're suddenly underneath you. Good dodges from Doggo, though, avoiding that down signature from Powar, but a little bit off the mark on that side light, and Powar able to get a good punish.
Yeah, damage is certainly accelerating for both of these players. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen just because this set has been such a roller coaster.
It's definitely been wild. Side signature going to connect for Doggo. Looking to finish the stock, but just not finding the positioning for it. Side air misses and Powar with the punish.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the common knockout confirms they're looking for. And again, the downlight into the gravity cancel neutral heavy on unarmed. One of the earliest ways to take somebody out when you don't have a weapon handy.
Yeah, that's just slightly more optimal than the downlight recovery. Granted, downlight recovery easier to do, but downlight neutral heavy, a little bit more force on that one.
Oh my gosh. Rayman and Garnet just punching each other across the stage. Seems like almost choreographed, because it's like, all right, I'm gonna hit you, then I'll chase, you'll hit me, you'll chase, and we'll just keep going around and around until one of us can't hang anymore.
Yeah, that's the kung fu fight, right? That's Ip Man versus guy who challenged Ip Man for his dojo, and they're just doing the fist fight.
I think that's what it said in the credits. Yeah, guy who challenged Ip Man for his dojo, number 1, number 2, number 3.
Well, I kept it vague because it happens in like every Ip Man movie, so I was like, all right, well, just pick your movie and you'll find out when that happened.
Pick your favorite, just imagine it as this one.
Just don't pick 4 as
Oh
your
my
favorite.
God.
Side air from Doggo to get the stock. This is the first lead Doggo has had in this set.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is huge. Because Powar, you know, he starts off incredibly well, but Doggo just always clutching it out at the end. It's 1-1 in the set right now, so any bit of change-up that you can give to the previous rhythm is just going to help you out.
Good dodging coming out from Doggo. Powar struggling to finish the stock, finds the side air though. Just a little bit of a damage lead in the favor of Doggo.
Yeah, trying to find a weapon, but right now Powar just starving them out, tossing away his own, grabbing whichever ones fall, but now it's into the gauntlets versus the orb.
Powar gets stacked up. Nice 3-piece coming out from Powar. Doggo with no reaction out of that one, and Powar's going to switch the axe for the bigger damage per hit.
Yeah, I mean, if you see yourself just trading back and forth, and the neutral game isn't really the problem outside of that, just go for the more damaging weapon if you have that available in your kit. Just because, hey, if you want to trade back and forth, I'm just going to win out ahead. Oh, uppercut off the top, and now Powar 2-1. You know, you mentioned Doggo having the lead there, and it can just evaporate so quickly.
Yeah, was not able to get a huge bonus off that lead, right? Doggo was in the red on that second stock when Powar was on their final stock, and Doggo got a little bit of damage there, but it just was not enough to get a solid and comfortable finish at the end of game number 3. And now Powar 1 game away from closing this out, taking the second seed out of the tournament, and going on to challenge Goddess in the losers final. Doggo going to try to hold on for dear life, sticking with the orb. That's been the better for the damage build so far.
Yeah, I'm all for, you know, whichever one you see working. Now that you've got a bunch of information throughout the set, you've got to be able to hammer on, all right, what's been working, what hasn't, what needs changes and adaptations applied to it if I'm going to continue attempting.
Stick with what's working, but unfortunately for Doggo, did miss the weapon toss. Powar with a really good spot dodge through it, and that means that Doggo's now doing the gauntlet mirror match.
Yeah, and I think Powar has usually been winning those out, even though we haven't seen any crazy extended strings, because Doggo tends to find the escape before too much damage is done. It's really just neutral interaction after neutral interaction going the way of Powar.
And just getting that one extra hit when needed. Does find the side air off the whiffed recovery from Doggo, and Powar gonna take that stock advantage. Deep Red, though, could see this one evened up with a downlight gravity cancel neutral heavy.
I mean, if history repeats itself, that could be what we're looking at. Unfortunately, you know, with the orb here, it gives you a couple better, tastier options.
Yeah, some better starters for the knockout tool. That's just going to be a raw neutral light. Unfortunately, not enough force on that one. Generally, it is a lot of damage required to knock out with a neutral light from the opposite side of the stage.
Yeah, it's just too much ground to cover, and those things, you know, they can create space, but not really take stocks. Not a high force move at that.
Can't take that. Can't create that much space. Side air though is going to take out the stock. Doggo evening this one up just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, finally, I want to know exactly how much damage had to be built onto Powar there, because he was deep in that barbecue sauce color. I mean, his health was turning just completely just charcoal.
Fantastic stock extension from Powar. But Doggo, again, sticking with the orb. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Doggo just getting this damage built up onto Powar, finding those extensions, getting 2, 3, maybe even 4 hits off of one orb starter.
Ooh, there it is. So now that extra damage the corner guard set up, Powar again having to find a weapon.
Does slip fast, does find the axe, but Doggo just staying stacked up with the neutralite. A little bit of a faster neutralite on the orb. Oh, but Power's got the range advantage with that axe neutralite. Side light into the glare. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. The axe slide, the skateboard axe, and then again, another just standard gauntlet ground pound. Just let it fly as soon as you can.
Like, part of me, it just feels like Doggo's reactions are just a little bit slow. That's the second time Power's just done like a raw gravity canceled side signature with axe that happens to go on stage, and Doggo stands there and is like, oh, that was okay, and just like doesn't react.
It seems to be that Powar is attacking from these ranges that are just, oh my gosh,
Nice.
Beautiful
That was a good
bicycle kick. Yeah, that's the thing. You can bounce that orb off the wall and cover some extra space. But yeah, it seems like Powar, he just consistently attacks from ranges a little bit farther than I think Doggo expects. Whether you get to hold on to the axe slide to get that little extra range, or you hold on to the ground pound to go a little bit farther. Ooh, yo, bounce them.
Oh, good spots on.
This
All right,
time.
didn't find the punish.
Is it too little, too late?
Found their reaction button, but unfortunately not enough health to play with. Power Ranger going to take it 3-1 over Doggo, taking the second seed out of the tournament and earning their spot in the losers final on the Rayman, a character that we don't see very often in tournaments. So cool to see Power doing work with it.
Oh yeah. And using that axe slide to great effect so many times. I mean, that was really cool because that's for unique signatures.
I still want to go back to the end sig on the corner, man. Like, that's one that if I was Doggo would be nightmare fuel for me.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing, oh no, there's the mushroom. A trail of lums leading right to me? Terrible, terrible.
It's the X at the end of the treasure map, but that X is you, and that stock is gone. Doggo.